Yes, welcome to my Japanese lesson. So today's topic is a little bit complicated. Yes, what is the difference between morau, ageru, and kureru? Yeah, so please remember this. Yes, A is a giver, B is a receiver. Okay? This is all sentences. Yes, もらいます、あげます、くれます。These are must form of もらう、あげる、くれる。But today I will use must form verb. Okay, first one, もらいます。もらいます is the only one, which means to receive. Yeah, so this is really simple and easy.And B is a receiver, so B が A に noun をもらいます。Yes, it's B receive the noun from A. Okay. Second one and third one are to give. So in English, the same meaning, but in Japanese, we have two ways of expressing.A が B に noun をあげます。A gives noun to B. And くれます。A give noun to B. A が B に noun をくれます。Yeah. First, もらいます。B が A に何々をもらいます。So this sentence meaning is B receive something from A. Yeah, so subject is a B. Yes, and this particle ni is a source of action. Yeah, so A is a source of action. Yeah, and particle ga is a subject marker. So B is a subject. A is a source of action. And もらいます means to receive.Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you. ありがとう、セルさん。So, and the particle wall is an object marker. So this gift box is an object. See? Yeah. And yeah, so もらいます is very simple and easy to understand because only もらいます means receive. Next one is あげます。あげます。A が B に何々をあげます。In English, the sentence means A gives something to B. Yes. So A is a subject. Yes, and B is a target of action. So action is this to give. Yes, and who do the action is A, and B is a target.Yeah, that's easy. Makes sense, right? So, like, just perspective is opposite. So this is a subject A. Yeah. A が B に何々をくれます。A が B に何々をくれます。くれます means to give. So A gives something to B. So this sentence is the same meaning, yeah, with あげます sentence in English. But in Japanese, slightly different. So this is the whole expressions, like sentences. Something is a little different. Yeah. So speaker's perspective is different between あげます sentence and くれます sentence. So もらいます receive is speaker's perspective is in the B side. Yeah, so like subject side. So, and あげます is speaker's perspective is in the A side.So this is actually this part is 99% of today's lesson. Yes. And that's one. くれます is speaker's perspective is a B. Okay. And what is perspective? Is Yeah, so speaker's perspective. And this is really important. The speaker always places the perspective in a relational position closer to the speaker. Okay, so please look at the picture below. So left side, closer, like green color section. Yes, and right side, here, this is distant. Yeah, so in this lesson, the speaker should always be considered me. Depending on whether the me is from the perspective of the giver or the receiver, you should either use あげます or くれます. Yes, and the second layer is family member in Japan. Yes, so this is a little bit connected to the Japanese culture. Yes, the second layer is a family member, and the third layer is friends, classmate, colleague, like acquaintance, like everyone who I know. Yes, so even if it is not too close relationship, yes, you can say like acquaintance. And the most like farthest, like a distant, is a stranger, like everyone who I don't know. Okay, so yeah, so we already know what perspective is. Yes, and go back to the sentence. B が A に something をもらいます。B receives something from A. And in もらいます sentence, speaker's perspective is always like B, so like subject side. Yeah? So receiver B is a subject. でしょ? So speaker is looking at them from side receiver B. So okay, let's say if I were a speaker, maybe receiver B is my father. Yes, my family member, my father. And giver A is my friend. Yes, my friend. So in this situation, I could say 私の父 Yes, my father が私の友達 my friend に何々をもらいます。あげます sentence. It's A が B に何々をあげます。A gives something to B. And あげます sentence, speaker's perspective is A side, so subject side. Yes. So, for example, like, okay, if A is my sister, younger sister, 妹, my younger sister gives something to my teacher. Yes, if I were a student. A perspective is really close to my younger sister. Yes, and the receiver is my teacher. Yes, so my sister gives something to my teacher. My teacher is not my family. See? 妹が先生に何々をあげます。This くれます sentence, くれます sentence, this is a little bit tricky. Speaker's perspective is side B, receiver side, but subject is A. このくれます sentence, くれます also means to give, but speaker's perspective is receiver side. Yes. Perspective is B side. So, receiver for speaker, receiver B is a closer relationships. Yes. 例えば、もらいます。verb is もらいます。So, 何々が何々に何々を何々 is something like お友達にだね。 友達 my friend. あ、and receiver B is me, so 私 So I receive something from my friend. Any particle in this case is source of action. Exactly! Yes, correct. This is a source of action. そうです。So, like, when I compare 私 and 友達, 私 is the closest person to the speaker. Yeah. So, 私, speaker's perspective should be receiver side. Yes. 私が友達に何々をもらいます。If speaker perspective is A side, yes, we cannot use to receive verb. Yeah. I think you would say I give or like I give something. I give ice cream to my friend でしょ? Because the speaker is like A side. Speaker's perspective is left side, like giver side. So side A. So when the subject is A, subject is a giver, and verb is to give. Speaker's perspective is also giver side. So あげます。あげます to give. じゃあ A と B は同じにしようか。じゃあ this sentence speaker's perspective is in A side. So A should be 私にしようか。じゃあ私にするね。So example 私 I 私が友達に友達に何々をあげます。じゃあ、今度この2は何だろう ?So, what does this particle に mean? So, what is a 友達wow, what is 友達 guys? 友達って何I mean, in this sentence, so, 友達 is a target of action. Target. So, target of action です。I think もらいます and あげます are really simple because like あげます to give, もらいます to receive, but subject and speaker's perspective is always the same position. Yeah. So, yes. So this sentence, subject is B and speaker's perspective is also B side. Yeah. So easy to understand because this sentence is also なんだろう same with an English sentence. Yeah, so subject and speaker's perspective position is the same. And this sentence, あげます sentence to give. Subject is 私 I and speaker's perspective is also like giver A side. So subject side. So it's simple. では、くれますにしようか。So, くれます speaker's perspective is back to receiver side. So, action person is A, but speaker's perspective is B. じゃあ、okay. じゃあ、speaker's perspective B is I, 私。But it's a receiver, so me だね。not I. じゃあ、友達にしよう。My friend. が、友達が、私。So B receiver is I. Yeah, so this is me だね。Yes, to me. 私に何々をくれます。に何々をくれます。So maybe you guys already noticed. So when 私 me or I 私 or like 俺僕 like we have lots of first person word in Japanese, but when I or me are in the sentence, yes, speaker's perspective is always I でしょ？ Speaker's perspective, speaker is I, me. 友達が私に何々をくれます。くれます is to give. So, my friend gives something to me. Yes, so in くれます sentence, like receiver is the perspective. No? Does this make sense? And this particle ni is target. Yes, because 私 me, yes, is a target, right? Target of action. あげます and くれます is like speaker's perspective is a different. Yeah, makes sense. あ、よかった。mother and father is same level の。So you can choose mother or father. Yes, so which would you like to emphasize? Yes. This is my, A, giver is my mom. This is my mom. And receiver, this boy, this is my daddy. Yes. And, if my perspective is a speaker's perspective. So, like I am speaking this situation from mother's side. Yes, from mother's side. Yes, I would say, 母。母が父に何々をあげます。と、母 means my mother. Yes, 母が父 is my father. に何々をあげます。My mother give something to my father, and this is me. This speaker is me. I am a speaker. And from my perspective, yes, my mother gave something to my father. Yeah, so あげます。So this situation, あげます is correct. And if I say 母が父に何々をくれます。くれますに変わります。Yeah, it will change to くれます。So, くれます is also to give. So, my mother gives something to my father, but in くれます sentence, speaker perspective should be receiver side. Yes, so from father's side, my mother give something to my father. Close to the speaker, of course, but 例えばじゃあ like my mother and my father. So both persons are family member. So it depends on which person would you emphasize. Yeah. So if you are a storyteller, which person is a hero in this story? So 母が父に何々をあげます。My mother gives something to my father. Yeah, and if my mother is a hero, main story in this sentence, yes, the perspective should be giver side. Mother side. Yeah, the main character is my father. Speaker's perspective is receiver side and verb is くれます。じゃあ、if 母 my mother 母が A に何々をもらいます。My mother received something from A. Yes, A is a giver でしょ？ My mother is a receiver. And if the subject is 母 my mother, speaker's perspective is mother side, so receiver side. So, A must be a more distant relationship than my mother. Yeah, no, does this make sense? So, in like top picture, my mother is a family member, right? So, A should be in this orange area. Yes, because I am a speaker's perspective. Yeah, so from my perspective, my mother received something from A, and A must be more distant relationship. So this is third person sentence. Yeah. じゃあ okay, じゃあ for example, A is my friend にしようか。Yes, my friend. 母が友達 my friend. 母が友達に何々をもらいます。あげます。あげます to give. So, my friend 私の友達が私の友達 is a giver. 私の友達が B に何々をあげます。So, yes, I am a speaker. Yeah. So, receiver B must be a more distant relationship than my friend. So maybe like classmates, colleague, like acquaintance, stranger, like whoever. Yes. So like more distance relationship person. This is a くれます sentence. くれます。くれます in くれます sentence.Speaker's perspective is receiver side. Yes, receiver side. But subject is A, giver. So A give something to my colleague. A が私の同僚に何をくれます。Okay guys, do you have any question about もらうあげる、くれる。ちょっとあれする？ Quick review しようか。Okay, quick review. Giver. A is a giver. B is a receiver. And this is the whole sentences. B が A に noun をもらいます。B received noun from A. A が B に noun をあげます。A give noun to B. A が B に noun をくれます。A give something to B. So, もらいます this is really simple. Yes, あげます。A give something to B. A が B に何々をくれます。A give something to B. So, what's the difference between もらいます、あげます、くれます? Is the meaning of the verb and speaker's perspective. もらいます receive. This is really simple because this is the only one. Yeah, which means to receive. Yes. So speaker's perspective in もらいます sentence is in receiver side. And あげます sentence and くれます sentence, speaker's perspective is a different. in あげます sentence, the second one, speaker's perspective is A side. In くれます sentence, speaker's perspective is B side, so receiver side. So what the perspective is a speaker. Speaker always places the perspective in a relational position closer to the speaker. So B が A に何々をもらいます。B receive something from A. So when receive something, like speaker's perspective is always receiver side. あげます sentence. A が B に何々をあげます。A gives something to B. And speaker's perspective is giver side. くれます sentence. A が B に何々をくれます。A gives something to B. In this sentence, A giver is a subject. Yes, but speaker's perspective is receiver side. 私が友達に何々をもらいます。So もらいます means to receive. And speaker's perspective is receiver side. And subject is also the receiver. So receiver is I. So I receive something from my friend. あげます sentence. It's opposite. Yes. 私が友達に何々をあげます。So I give something to my friend. So the previous sentence, I was a receiver. But in this sentence is the opposite. I am a giver. And my friend is a receiver. And the speaker's perspective is giver side. Yes, in あげます sentence. くれます。友達が私に何々をくれます。My friend give something to me. Yes. So, this sentence, giver, 友達 is a subject in this sentence. So, my friend give, right? So, my friend is a subject. But, speaker's perspective is receiver side. Then, if I should be a subject, you can say もらいます. So, its verb is changing to receive, not give. So, okay, じゃあNako sensei, what happened if giver and receiver are third person? 母が A に noun をもらいます。もらいます to receive. So, my mother receives something from A. So, A is a giver. My mother is a receiver. But in this sentence, A must be a more distant relationship than my mother. So, like speaker's perspective. あげます sentence. 私の友達が B に noun をあげます。My friend gives something to B. In this あげます sentence, speaker's perspective is my friend, so giver side. Yeah, so receiver should be a more distant relationship than my friend, 私の友達。くれます。A が私の同僚に、同僚 colleague、何々をくれます。So A gives something to my colleague. So this A giver must be a more distant relationship than my colleague.